Ranger Bill, warrior of the woodland, struggling against extreme odds, traveling dangerous trails, fighting the many enemies of nature. This is the job of the guardian of the forest, Ranger Bill. Pouring rain, freezing cold, blistering heat, snow, floods, bears, rattlesnakes, mountain lions. Yes, all this in exchange for the satisfaction and pride of a job well done. Sometimes young people make mistakes, and one big mistake is that of getting in with the wrong crowd. This is the story of young George Bruce. It's a story of how George made a very serious mistake and was sent away for a while to think about it. And when he came back to Knotty Pine, the good folk there didn't think they should let George forget that he's been away to reform school. It's also a story of how Ranger Bill tried to help young George make the grade, and then got in the middle of what looked like a double cross. But let's go back a couple of months and look inside the office of the principal of the reform school. He's talking to young George Bruce.
Now, George, you're going back out into the outside world to try to live a normal life again.
Yes, sir.
You got to try hard, my boy. It isn't going to be easy. Too many folks know about you, and well, they don't forget.
Yes, I know.
You know, society is very quick to call for punishment on the heads of those who make mistakes. But sometimes they're slow in offering a helping hand to those who've paid for their mistake.
Well, I'll try my best to make the grade, sir. I don't want to come back here, ever.
That's the spirit. I don't want you to come back either. This is one place where I don't extend a return invitation. Well, goodbye, George.
Goodbye, sir. And thanks for helping me.
That's quite all right, son. Keep your chin up and look 'em square in the eye. You've nothing to be ashamed of.
You advertise for an office boy here, mister?
Why, yes. Come in. We'll talk it over. What's your name, son?
George Bruce, sir.
Oh, yes. You were in the papers, weren't you? I'm sorry, but we can't use you right now. Maybe some other time.
I see. All right. Thanks anyway. Say, mister, you advertise for a gas station assistant?
Yep. Want the job?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you look like a strong, intelligent lad. Not afraid of work, are you?
Oh, no, sir.
All right. When can you start?
Right now, if you want me to.
Okay with me. Grab a rag and get them coveralls on over there.
Sure, right away, mister.
Or say, what's your name?
My name's George.
George what? Did you have a last name?
Yes, it's Bruce.
George Bruce, eh? Oh, say, you ain't the kid that just got out of reform school, are you?
Yes, sir, I am.
Oh, I'm sorry, boy. No job. Bad for business to have you around here. Got to think of a business.
Bill, you know who I am, don't you?
Sure, you're Wayne Bruce, George Bruce's dad.
You sure got a head for remembering.
Well, guess I've got a head, all right. Place to hang my hat, anyway. Can I help you, Wayne?
Yes, Bill, you can. It's about George. He's not doing so good.
Can't get a job, is that it, Wayne?
That's right, Bill. Nobody'll give the boy a break. Trouble is, they'll be sending him back to reform school if he doesn't get work pretty soon. You know, people are cruel, Bill. Just downright cruel.
Yes, Wayne, a lot of people are. But it may make you feel better to know that I want to help the lad make a clean new start in life. Now, you tell George I want to see him tomorrow afternoon. And not to worry about getting a job.
Bill, you're a real friend. I won't forget this, believe me. Not in your life. Thank you. Thank you, Bill.
Hey, Bill, wait up, will you?
Sure thing. What do you want, Cal?
Where you been keeping yourself, boy? Haven't seen you for a coon's age.
The question is mutual. I guess the sheriff leads a busy life just like the Rangers, eh?
Boy, you're not joking. Right now I'm checking on the Bruce lad. See if he's behaving himself.
George Bruce? You needn't worry about George. Boy hasn't been able to find work yet, but that won't be for long. I'm going to talk to a friend of mine about giving the fella a job.
Wasting your time, Bill. Once these kids turn bad, they stay bad. I've seen it happen too often.
Yeah, maybe you have, Cal. The thing is, I never see anybody giving these fellas a hand. Oh, we all make mistakes. Some make worse mistakes than others, that's all. They need help to get on their feet. But nobody wants to help them.
Now, look, Bill, you take it from me. I know about these things. As sheriff, I've seen a lot of them come out of reform school, and they always go back. Only when they do, they go to prison instead.
We'll see that this doesn't happen to George, Cal. Take it easy on the kid and give him his chance to make good, will you?
Oh, sure. Sure I will, Bill. Well, gotta run along.
Same here. Drop around the office when you get time.
Yeah, first chance I get, Bill. So long.
So long, Cal. And don't believe the worst about George. We'll see if we can't make him an exception to the rule. Hello, Frenchie. How you doing, big fella?
Oh, Bill, my friend. It is so good to see you.
That's good to see you, too, Frenchie. How you doing? Still cutting them down to your size?
Oh, Frenchie, he always swings the odds. What you say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Say, by the way, you come up on the social visit or business?
Well, a little of each. Mostly business, Frenchie.
Yeah, and what kind of business you want with Frenchie? You buy timber?
No, Frenchie. I want to build some.
What you mean, Bill?
Frenchie, there's a young friend of mine. Name is George Bruce. George got into a little trouble a while back. Made a mistake, but he's paid for it. Now he's trying to start over again. Only the folks in town won't give him a break.
He just get out of reform school?
Yes, a couple of months ago. And he hasn't been able to land a job yet. How about it, Frenchie? You give this boy a break? I'll vouch for him.
Oh, you no need vouch for him, Bill. Frenchie, remember when he not so hot himself some time ago now. Bring the young fella around. Frenchie, do shall give him job and give him good name again.
Thanks, Frenchie. You're an understanding man. If the world had more people in it like you, it would be a lot happier place to live in. I'll bring the boy up in the morning. How do you feel about this, George?
Great. I sure owe you a lot, Bill. And you won't be sorry. I'll make good.
I know you will. Frenchie will see to that. Now, I don't want you to be afraid of Frenchie. He's a big bulk of a man, French-Canadian, but he's got a heart as big as his body. He'll understand. You see, George, Frenchie's made some mistakes, too.
You mean that, Bill?
Yeah. He's made good, especially since he became a Christian.
Oh?
He's the top foreman of this big lumbering outfit. He's doing very well. So you see, young fella, it can be done.
Sure it can, Bill. If they'll only give a fella a chance.
That's right. They'll only do that little thing. Now, let's see. We'll be at the camp in about 10 minutes.
I'm glad Bill helped young George Bruce. It makes big difference, all right.
Yeah. The way these people in town act, they'd just as soon send him back to reform school.
Tom, we ought to send some of them pumpkin heads off the clink. Maybe they wouldn't be so snooty when they got out. Well, some of these eggheads here in town ought to be glad it ain't raining.
What's rain got to do with it, Stumpy?
Why, they'd all drown because they got their noses turned up so high.
Old-timer, I think you've got something there.
Well, thank you, Grey Wolf. Them's mighty kind words.
Hey, Bill should be back soon. We'd better pack up. You know, he says we're going out on the trail for a couple of weeks.
Yep. We're going to look for a big diamondback rattler for the zoo. They need one, you know. The old one died.
Now, I've got a feeling that I shouldn't ask this question. I can kind of tell by the look in Stumpy's eye.
You might as well ask it, because he'll tell us anyhow.
Yeah, that's right. He can't take a hint. Okay, Stumpy, tell me how the old rattler died.
Well, sir, he got caught in the front door of the snake house. Thought he was a doorbell and buzzed himself to death.
Oh, no.
Hey, just a minute. Hey, listen. I think I hear the boss man driving up out front.
Oh, good. Now we find out how young George made out on his first day on new job.
Hi, Bill.
Hello, fellas. How's Trent?
What's the good news about George, Bill?
Well, it's all good, I'm happy to say. He's doing fine, even better than I expected.
Great.
Yes, sir, it sure is. Just shows that if you have faith in human beings, they won't let you down. That is, the Lord's guiding them.
Say, George, maybe you'd like to run the errand for Frenchy, eh?
Well, sure, Frenchie. Anything you say.
That is a good boy. Look, I want you to take the 1.5-ton truck into town. Drop the saw at the freight depot. I send it back for repairs.
Anything else you want me to do?
More work, eh? You can do something else. Go over to the bank and pick up the payroll on your way back.
You mean me? You trust me with the payroll, Frenchie?
Oh, you tell Frenchy, why not? Frenchy trusts you. The big boss, he trusts you. You bring the payroll back, huh?
Oh, sure, Frenchie, sure. Is there much money?
$2,500 in the manila envelope.
Whew, that's a lot of money. Maybe I should have protection.
Maybe you like take the Count Muscat along, huh?
Well, sure, I'll take Blackie along. That's a good idea. Here, Blackie. Come on, boy. Here, boy.
Well, go now, so you're back before dark.
Okay, Frenchie. Come on, Blackie. We're going for a ride.
Well, here's the lumberjack's payroll, young fella. $2,500.
Wow, that's a lot of money, isn't it?
That's right. Now, I'll put the money in this heavy manila envelope and seal it, okay? There you are.
Well, thanks. I'm all set. Let's go, Blackie. Some pretty bad downgrades going back to camp, Blackie, old fella. I sure hope the brakes in this truck are okay. Well, we ought to be back to camp in about half an hour. Say, I'd better slow up for that turn. Hey, this isn't funny. Say, what's wrong? I can't slow down. The brakes. Here, I'll try the emergency. Blackie, we'll never make that turn down there. We'll go off the road, sure. Come here, pup. You can't go out through the windshield. Hold it. We're going to crash.
Ranger Tom calling headquarters. Tom